Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy Baseball Picks. I'm your host, Mike 31. Enjoyed doing the video yesterday. It was pretty successful, is what we said. Although the Yankees game didn't rain out, but still there were a lot of delays in it, and I don't think it was too worth playing. But got a lot right. Really enjoyed doing it. So something on for 4:30. So I'm up early today. Hopefully my morning voice doesn't take over here, but we'll power through it. Big slate, 12 games. So let's just get right into it here. Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, Wheeler and Rasmussen. Wheeler, really like here, even though it's in the Tampa Bay field, it's going to be 87 degrees, the wind blowing out a little bit. So decent hit at your park, but I think he's just been so solid. Looking at 20, maybe a little bit over 20 DK points. Definitely going to be playing Wheeler to pay up on the slate for me. Rasmussen, I think, is in play. Like Philly's been good, not elite recently, which is surprising because last year when that was the case is because they had a lot of injuries, but it looks like their lineup is like pretty full. So I think, it's a good hitting spot for him. So I think Rasmussen's in play in the middle range here at 8-3 because Philly can have some letdowns. Bat wise, Philadelphia bats I think are in like the GPP range here. Probably would just stick to like a lefty stack, like maybe Stott, Harper, Schwarber, Kepler, maybe wrap around with Marsh there, makes it a little bit cheaper if you want to throw Turner or Castellanos in. So I'm probably playing, if I'm doing, I'm stacking five out of the first six. I'll maybe making a mini stack with just maybe Stott, Harper, and Schwarber. And then, like I said, Marsh works with a wraparound there. Tampa Bay wise, they're gonna throw some lefties there. Simpson might lead off pretty cheap, low. Aranda, maybe throw in like Kemmer or Diaz there. Probably not going to get to Michigan. It's like they're like they alternate righty lefty. So it's kind of hard to get a bunch of left-handed stocks without with some continuity there. And I don't like playing like every other batter in the lineup. So we'll have to see. I might throw a righty in there. I don't think I'll play a ton of Tampa Bay there. I think because it'd only be like a leverage stack left everything. Yankees and the Padres, it's gonna rain again, but it's only gonna be like 50% chance. So watch this one. It's the one we're right now, not the one that's like up to 90% chance. But a lot could change. Wind blowing up 9 miles per hour. Not a great hitting environment. But King's been good, getting strikeouts. Yankees aren't super high for strikeouts this year, but I think King can manufacture some against them. Is semi a revenge game. I think he's pinched against them previously. He's been off the team 2 seasons now. Schmidt on the other side is still coming back from an injury. He's good against righties. The lefties might give him a little bit of trouble. So King definitely thinks is in play. Schmidt, I'm probably going to fade here. Bat wise, Arias is not really a power hitter. Tatis, after he got ejected last night, he might be a little bit ready to go here. So I think he'll still profile well. So Tatis, I'm fine with. Probably Machado, Merrill, and then Sheets at first base. I'd play him over Arrays. He's got much more power. Yankees, usual suspects. So maybe a small stack of like Grissom, Judge, Rice, and Bellinger there, and a four man. Maybe through Vivas hasn't done a ton, but he's super cheap as a wraparound if he gets on base, and maybe he'll just manufacture some points. Cincinnati, Atlanta, great hitting conditions here. Wind blowing out a little bit, 5 miles per hour, but 76 degrees, and not hot Atlanta yet, but it's warmer Atlanta than some of these other sites in Major League Baseball that are playing outdoors. Abbott and Sale, Abbott really don't like him here. He's had some good, decent starts, but I think Atlanta's going to go all righty here. It has a ton of power, and like the 76-degree temperature. I'm just not playing him. So he's going on my fade list. Sale is definitely in play, probably in the mid range, probably the best mid range pitcher here. Again, probably 20 DK points against the Cincinnati lineup. I know they have some power and stuff, but I like them better in Go to American Small Park than here. So Reds definitely a leverage stack. Probably be like McLean, De La Cruz, Marte. I felt bad for that young outfielder. Ran into the wall, broke his forearm. So you might see another cheap outfielder come in like Dunn if you want to do like a wraparound against Sale. Then I wouldn't like might just go like the middle of this lineup. here too, because like you have Stevenson in play, but he's like 5K. He's probably gonna hit in the seventh spot. So I don't know. It's just a leverage stack here. Not gonna spend too much time on it. Braves really like here too. You're gonna have that's Albies leading off, which kind of makes sense. We've seen that before against the lefty in the last couple of seasons. Riley Ozuna, Murphy, love Murphy here. Love Murphy here. He should be able to hit a home run. And they have Fairchild. He's only batting like .05. He doesn't get a ton of at bats here, but it is a 2K right-handed bat against a lefty and in a decent lineup. So another one that you can consider if you need a punt in your Braves stack. Verlander and Ray. Verlander's still out pitching there. Like the wind is blowing into Wrigley and it's only 59 degrees, so that doesn't necessarily neutralize hitting, but it's not like a great hitting condition. But the Cubs have just been so solid that Verlander is just gonna be a fade for me. I think is gonna see a bunch of righty or no, they'll probably try to mix and match some lefties, but I don't think they have a ton to put in. So you Scrumpsy and Lee definitely up there. Maybe Wade. Bailey's a switch hitter, but he's gonna see a share of righties. So San Francisco's not mixing his matching as much. So I think he's definitely in play in the 7K range here. San Francisco, again, just the lefty is probably a small stack. So Yastrzemski, Adamas has been very disappointing, so I'd skip over him. Lee and Chapman, if Wade moves up in the lineup, then I'd consider him. I don't think I could move to a full stack in San Francisco, even though they are relatively cheap and mostly in the 4K range and some even 2K towards the bottom of it, but I don't think I see much production there. Cubs side of it, let's run it back again here. Corey Anderson's moved up to the lineup to sixth spot, which was great. So like Hap, Tucker, Bush, Corey Anderson, throw in Suzuki, and still refuse to play 5.5K for Kelly. It's just hard to get to them on DK. They're so expensive as a stack. You might just have to do them as like a mini stack. Corey Anderson helps being cheaper there. But I mean, they're almost getting up to like Dodger pricing on some of these here, especially with Tucker at 6'3". So like Crow Anderson is one off I like, maybe like a Butch Crow Anderson mini stack for like if you just need like two bats that are close together. But that's probably what all I'm doing with the Cubs. I like it when it's a top GPP. Like I said, you're gonna have to pay down pitcher and you're gonna have to play like the White Sox with them or something just to try to make the salaries work, which I did last night, and it kind of worked out decently. It cashed in a GPP, but it wasn't like an outstanding one. I think it was because I nailed the pitchers more than anything in that one. So speaking of the White Sox, they take on the Royals here, Sean Burke and Lugo. Burke is not a good pitcher. I don't know if he'll even get 10 DK points at 5.5. So fade, no interest for me. And notice I have like two fade categories here. This should more let me change that here. This should more be probably a 150 max category. Truth be told, I'm probably not playing any pitchers in this range, but just they're more mass multi-entering. But definitely Burke is definitely a fade here. The pitchers on the fade list are definitely fades for me. Uh, So maybe the 150 should say no interest. But anyways, as I go on here, Burke is one of them not playing. Seth Lugo, really like him here. Really good matchup against the White Sox. Benintendi still banged up if he's not in the lineup. There's more right-handed bats. Even though I like him, and even though I've been playing him every day, and the Red Sox are playing early, so I can't like stack him with them. That's been my stack. But I'll probably maybe do White Sox and Cubs again because they just like kind of offset each other with the cheapness and positionality versus all the expensive bats there. So I'll just play them as like a leverage stack because I think Glue will get some ownership here, and then or just like as a super cheap stack to offset like the more expensive stacks you want to play. But then the Royals on the other side here are really good. And just besides Witt at 5.8, who had a really good game last night, didn't have a home run, but it's like doubles, driving runs in, stealing a base. It all added up. Had a really solid night here. So India, Witt, Pesca, Tino, Perez is starting to hit a little bit better. Garcia has been really good, and I don't care if it's Randy. I'll still play him there. And then Massey at second base. Renfro, Waters, and Isbell don't really. Waters have been okay. Didn't do much yesterday. Isbell can steal a base if he gets on contact. Not have not gonna have a ton of power there, but he's one that if he gets on and then the top guys in the lineup hit him in, then that's gonna add him for points. Uh, Baltimore and Minnesota, Cade Povich and Pablo Lopez. Um, Povich is a no, really struggling. I thought that he was going to be like the next Chris Sale, but he is not there yet, definitely. So needs a lot of work. Lopez on the other side, Baltimore's going to throw a lot of lefties here. They're really good offense, but they only have a 3.79 total. It's going to be 80 degrees in Minnesota, so it's going to be decent hitting. Conditions, but this it's more of a pitcher's park. You got a little wind out 3 miles per hour. So Lopez, I think, is a solid play here if you're paying up at 9K. Povich fade. And then Baltimore bats, I think, are intriguing. Again, I'd probably build a nice left-handed stack here. Up top, I just probably leave Mountcastle and take 1 through 6. So Mullins, Henderson, Rushman, O'Hearn and Holiday, and they're really not that expensive. You got 2.52 guys up there and a couple 4K guys, but Holiday balances out nicely at 3.4. And then Minnesota, love the stack here against Povich. Give me the righties. Royce Lewis is back in our lives. He's got speed and power, and hopefully he can stay healthy. France, Correa, Jeffers, Buxton. Probably wouldn't play like Lee or Castro because if they switch up and bring a righty in, they might Bader also maybe a little bit risky towards the bottom. But and Vasquez, I don't know if Jeffers or Vasquez, which one will DH and which one will catch. But I think the bottom of the lineup is a little bit risky with a pinch hit, but the top of the lineup should stay intact. And I think they sent Julian down, so maybe Lee and Castro will be okay. Whoever starts at second base, 'cause you don't have him as left-hand option anymore. Houston and Milwaukee with Sneski and Patrick. I think both these pitchers are okay. Uh, Nothing like they're in the cheap range at 7.2 and 7.4. I think it's a four total on both sides. It's Brewers at home are a little bit more favored here. They have a little bit more left-handed power, but without Frelick in the lineup, that's the one bat that they're down. So you're kind of getting a little bit more right-handed heavy. Houston, who was right-handed heavy, the only person in their lineup is Carantini now. That Alvarez went on the D or the IL, so it's all right-handed. So I think in tournaments you can take a shot on each one of them. 12 to 14 DK points between them. Not going to light the world on fire, but they should be able to mitigate damage. That wise, Houston 150 max because again, it's going to be all right-handed lineup against right-handed pitcher. Milwaukee bullpen is that the bottom of the worst one, so it's not like the worst ones. It's another reason why I like the Twins. It's Baltimore. It's the second worst bullpen going back to that game. But I think there's like a lot of other options here. I don't think you really need to go. I think these are 150 max, and it'd be probably kind of like a stack or fade thing for me. Pittsburgh or St. Louis, Skeens and Liberatore. Skeens had a rough outings. He's pitching. He's giving up like contact, but I think it's more the matchup. Like St. Louis makes a great matchup for him here. They only have a 3-3 total. I think it's the lowest on the slate. So Skeens highly in play here. In St. Louis, it's 70 degrees, which is St. Louis is another ballpark where if it's super hot, it's like really good hitting conditions, but the wind's not blowing out and nothing really that's going to make it a hitter's park. Liberatore on the other side, I think it's super solid here in the medium range against this Pittsburgh team that they're not like super high with strikeouts, but there's enough strikeouts in the lineup to make it worthwhile for him. Bat wise, Pitt to just be 150 max of St. Louis is going to be leverage against Skeens. Maybe Nootbaar, Donovan. I really, they might be batting win second. That's interesting. I'd rather if I'm doing anything here, like I might go with like a weird wraparound and do like Burleson, Gorman, Scott, Nootbaar, Donovan. Just take the lefties in the lineup if they're close together. As I like kind of like that for like dollars a contrarian thing. Fours, again, I don't think this game's going to play. If I'm looking at it, 100% chance of rain. I looked at the radar and everything. If it does play Joe Bay, whoever Jackson Jobe, however you say his last name, is a great pitcher here against the Rockies. Should get some strikeouts here. Dollinger on the other side, not going to touch them. Love Detroit, their top stack on the slate. If this game looks like it's going to play, I don't have confidence in it with the weather. There's even like some snow out in the Rockies, so. I don't think they can get this game in. Again, I thought I said that about the Yankees game and I was wrong. I was right about this Washington game though. And I think that game's in jeopardy of not playing again today. It's really weird here because Colorado is in Coors Field, but they're priced like a triple A team here. The highest priced batter is 4-3 at Coors Field and Goodman's 4-1. Everybody else is in the 3K or 2K range for a team at home in Coors Field. So, number one, that tells me that Job is a decent pitcher. And number two, that just tells me that Colorado has a lot of work to do. So, see if the game plays, keep it in your back pocket. Uh, Toronto and the Los Angeles Angels here. I've seen Urania. I've seen a lefty potentially starting for the Blue Jays. Not really sure where they're going here at this point. Tyler Anderson on the other side, a lefty against a pretty much all righty lineup, I think is pretty solid place to target there also. So I'm not playing him either. Um, so Urena I have in the 150 max because their Trout's out of the lineup, so possibly, but I don't even think he's in the DK player pool, so I don't think that's even going to work. If it is who's the lefty? Let me just see if Major League MLB.com. It's so early in the morning, sometimes you don't get these things like solidified. Yeah, and that's the trouble doing it like early in the morning and the night before is you don't always have all the pitchers sometimes in question. It says TBD. I think DraftKings has Toronto pitcher. They have Lauer going, who would be a lefty, so at 6K. Still wouldn't play him. If he is the case, then I really like the Angels as a cheap stack. Same thing with Toronto. Toronto's not too expensive besides Vlad. They get a lefty here. Decent stock. So and especially Kirk, the catcher here at 3-2, that's a nice price for a guy that has some power. Angels on the other side, like take the righties if it's the lefty, Neto, Soler, or really like a Hopi here, and then the bottom of the lineup if you need some cheap relief. Mets and Diamondbacks, Peterson and Galen. You've got two okay pitchers here, none of which that I am really super excited about playing. So I'm probably not. That's Galen's a kind of a question mark too, but love both offenses. But I think you got them in the GPP because you have okay pitchers against them. Arizona bullpen hasn't been great. It's like probably sixth worst here. So that I really like the Mets. I've been playing them like almost every single day, just throwing a stack in a GPP just in case. Like Lindor had a home run yesterday. It just seems like they're hitting well, coming together. I know that they lost Winker to the IL, but like you have Marte's been back a little bit, and McNeil's been back only a matter of time before he starts hitting. And I said like they have some like nice players to like switch in here against lefties with Acuna and it's just a solid team, top to bottom. Like Soto up there. I know he hasn't been great to start off the season, and people are like, well, he doesn't have as much protection as he did in New York. I actually think this lineup is a lot better with like Lindor, Alonso, and if Nemo and Marte and Vientos keep on developing um, throughout the course of the season, it could be very scary. Diamondbacks on the other side, same thing. Marte back is really helping the lineup here. You might actually have a outfielder in the upper, um, which you only have one choice at first base today against a lefty with Naylor. So Smith will probably sit out. So you'll see Grichuk in the lineup and Gurriel, and I just go with a righty stack, lefty and lefty Carroll. I'm perfectly fine with. And the final game we have is Hancock and Springs here. Hancock I'm not going to really touch. Um, Against this A's lineup, I think he gets roughed up pretty good. Springs on the other side, I think is okay, but he's had some off games. But in the cheap one, I think you can still keep him in play. probably looking at 12 to maybe you can get up to 15 DK points. Like Seattle's their strikeout has been 17.3, but it's a little bit worse against right-handed or left-handed pitching as right-handed pitching. They are really good against right-handed pitching, like one of the best in Major League Baseball. Left, they're significantly different. So, and have to see who's in the lineup. So for Seattle bats, if you're taking him. I did leave him up in the top stack because they do have a 4.5 total here. So I don't know if Crawford lead off lefty on lefty, but J-Rod, Rosarena, I think, still going to be out with the injury. I didn't see if he go in on the IL, but I think he's going to need a couple days there. Riley, I'd play at catcher. If FanDuel will throw Garver, and also they're both, you can't do it on DK, but Solano at 2-1, like he's more of a contact guy like Areza, I think. So he can get on base, but Williamson at third base has been decent. I wouldn't play like the rest of the lineup. I don't even know if I get a full tack with Seattle, but there's enough righties that you could make a mini stack or use as fill-ins or one-offs. And then the Athletics, here's the thing. I think they are probably the third best stack or probably the second best stack because I don't think Detroit's going to play. But what happened? There are five outfielders in the first six, so you can't stack them. Well, on FanDuel, you can at least get four, and maybe they have different positional eligibility for some of them. But Butler outfielder, Ricker outfielder, Soderstrom now an outfielder, Andujar projected to bat fourth outfielder, Langelier catcher, Lede outfielder, Wilson. Hertz has had high potential, but just really hasn't done much besides strike out. And then Urias, I don't know if I really want to play him in the bottom lineup. So I'll have to see how the A's lineup come up. But if they have five righties in the first six, then they're almost impossible to stack. So let's see how we did stack things up today and build lines, and we'll get you on your way for your Tuesday. So give me Wheeler and Sailor Lugo. Love the pitching combination up there with the upside for a cash floor. And if you stack Kansas City and Minnesota, it works out beautifully. You have enough salary to even get up to like Witt and to Lewis if you want to. If you want to go down a little bit and mix it up, you can fill out your whole lineup, have players connected in the lineup where they're hitting, and feel good about it. I really love how that plays out there and gets you some really good pitchers. Like sales upside a little bit better, but Cincinnati could be a little bit dangerous. But Lugo against the White Sox is pretty solid also. So two really good choices there. GPP, give me Lopez. SP2, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I think you just want to see how you end up and who fits in there based on looking at the board. But give me the Braves. So Murphy, if he's in, I definitely want to pay up for him. If you want a little bit better SP2, then go Hopi. First base, if you go Hopi, you can probably get Olson in. If not, Chanel works, or maybe take a one off there. Because I don't lefty and lefty. I'm not like a huge fan of Chanel, but see who the actual pitcher is going to be for Toronto. If it's going to be like a bullpen game, you might get both, so Chanel should be okay. Albies, Riley, Neto, Ozuna, and then Soler or Ward if you want. Maybe even throw if you want a little bit more salary, you can throw Parrish at the bottom line or kind of do like a wraparound thing. So that's what I got for you. So if you have any questions, put them in chat below. Hit me MegaRow31 on Twitter/X. If you want more information on FSi DFS, go to the description of the video, and there is the link to our website. You can get in, and Major League Baseball is $3 a day, $15 a week, $6 a day to play everything on our site, which is awesome. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, so PGA coming up in a couple days. I do NASCAR on the weekends, and Charlie covers soccer every single slate. It usually goes sometimes from like 7 in the morning to like 10 o'clock at night. There's soccer all day, especially on weekends. So great. Check it out. He's elite coverage. Amazing stuff. Great results that we always see posted in that chat. So thanks for watching these videos. Help us back. Like, subscribe to the channel, and share with friends. So 2 days in a row. I'll see if I can get a couple more out this week. So thanks for watching. But if not, I'll definitely have NASCAR videos out, and NASCAR is going to be free this weekend. So check out the information on our website. If you play DFS NASCAR, then all you have to do is go to FSiDFS.com, and I'll be posting my sheets there Saturday. It's going to be a speculation video, but when the real results come up, that will be posted there, and Sundays will be posted also as a tribute to our moms. After I saw a lot of comments that a lot of you have lost your mothers recently, want to give you something to be able to do and enjoy on Mother's Day. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing Tuesday, and I will see you next time.